Block 1. Basics of Training and Development. Unit 1. Introduction to Training. Structure. 1.0 Introduction. 1.1 Objectives. 1.2 Meaning and Definition of Training. 1.2.1 Need and Objective of Training. 1.3 Differences between Education, Training and Development. 1.4 Training, Development and Performance Consulting. 1.5 Human Resource Development HRD Systems. 1.5.1 Design of HRD Systems. 1.5.2 Development of HRD Strategies. 1.6 Answers to check your progress. Questions. 1.7 Summary. 1.8 Keywords. 1.9 Self-assessment questions and exercises. 1.10 Further readings. Number 1. Introduction. Human resource management traditionally deals with selection, recruitment, training, and employee development. The focus of human resource management is to develop the latent potential of the workforce so that they can contribute to the achievement of organizational goals. Every organization, irrespective of its size, aims to achieve certain specific goals or objectives, and the achievement of organizational goals is largely depend on the nature and skin of the workforce. Since the achievement of organizational goals is depend on the skin of workforce, organizations devote a considerable amount of time and money to effective training. Training pursues is not only of importance of the organizations, but is also of significance for the employees, workers. From the organization's perspective, training involves imparting of skills, knowledge, and ability to enable the worker to work effectively and make a contribution to the organization. For an employee worker, training implies not only acquiring knowledge but also adding to his already existing skills. To understand the term training, its importance and its nature, one has to distinguish training from learning, education, and development. So, casual observer on the terms may sound synonymous, but there is a subtle difference between each of them. We shall learn more about the difference as we process further. 1.1 Objectives. After going through this unit, you will be able to discussing the meaning, need, the objects of training, differentiate between training, development, and education, examine how to design human resource development systems. 1.2 Meaning and definition of training. Training constitutes an important part of personal management and it is the personal department of an organization which supervises training. Before we proceed to understand the important and other related aspects of training, it's important to understand the meaning of term training. The dictionary defines the term training as the process of learning the skills that one needs for a particular job or activity. According to the Raymond A. No, training refers to planned effort by a company to facilitate employees' learning of job-related competences. According to P. Bramley, training is a process which is planned to facilitate learning so that people can become effective in carrying out aspects of their work. The Manpower Services Commission UK defines training as a planned process to modify attitude, knowledge, or skill behavior through learning experience to achieve effective performance in an activity or range of activity. Its purpose in the situation is to develop the ability of the individual and to satisfy the current and future needs of organization. The Aero Center for the Development of Vocational Training defines training as the activity of program of activities designed to teach to skills and knowledge required for particular kind of job of work. From the above definition, we can delineate certain elements that constitute the concept of training, and these elements are: training is a process, training is planned and structured activity, training is learning of job specific knowledge and skills, training caters to the needs of the organization. If we combine the above elements, the meaning of the term training would be a planned and systematic process of imparting knowledge, skill, and attitudes to achieve effective performance in an activity or range of activity. For better understand the concept of training, we have distinguished is from learning, education, and develop in the following section. 1.2.1 Need and objective of training. Prosperity and growth are two objectives which every organization wants to achieve. To achieve these objectives, every organization relies upon a competent and skilled workforce. Training is only means for the creation of a skilled and competent workforce. Every organization, public sector or private sector, invests considerably in training its workforce in order to achieve its growth object. With rapidly changing technology and with increasing consumer expectation, organizations need to evolve and change accordingly. Every change implies new product, new procedures and processes, and this is termed means as continuous updating of work skill sets. Therefore, organizational growth requires a continuous updating of work skill through regular training. Each training which improves the competency of an organization is ensures that every worker is able to perform up the expected standards, and this turn increases the possibility of organization achieving its growth objective. Each training which creates competent workers capable of performing, which results in a competent organization. In the following section, we shall learn about the advantages of training, which accrue to both the organization and the individual. Advantage of training to an organization: training improves the ability of organization to face the challenges created by the changing technology. Training increases the competency of organizations to face competition from national and international competitors. Training enhances the chances of organizational synergy. In organizations where multi-skill strategies are followed, training ensures workforce flexibility. Organizations focus on training to produce third skilled workforce. Most organizations specify clearly the kind of skill they require in their workforce to meet the job standards. In case where the skill level are lacking, the organization ensures the adequate training is provided. For instance, when the banking industry become computerized worldwide, the Indian public sector banks also computerize their operations, not by hiring new workers but training the existing staff in IT skills. Therefore, investing in training ensures the presence of the competent workforce working for the organization. Providing a regular high quality training is perceived by the worker as a quality of good organization. Regular training program is by the organization keeps the morale of the workforce high, and at the same time it generates the feeling of company care among the workforce. Advantage of training to an individual: training enhances an individual's skill level. Training provides an opportunity to develop one latent potential. Proper training increases the confidence of workers to perform the assigned task. Selection for training programming is often perceived by the worker as the sign of his important organization. Learning new skill during a training stint often enhances the status of the worker in the workplace. Training in new skills may often open doors to more lucrative opportunity. Training improves internal and external job mobility. Training improves promotion prospect for the worker. Training and learning new skill raises the market value of the worker. Is clear from the above discussion that without training, even the well-designed working process will fail to deliver the expected result. On point three, differences between education, training, and development. The distinction between training and education become very clear if one looks at both terms of human resource management perspective. Trainer perceive training as a very specific and a task-oriented process, and education as a very broad and a general term. Training is usually associated with the learning a specific set of skills to perform particular kind of work, while education is generally associated with learning of skills of life. Training is usually seen as a means for imparting skill for performing a set of specific tasks in a predetermined procedure or process. On the other hand, education is perceived as a more broad-based preparation for life, and the objective of education to provide the general worldview. Education equips an individual with basic qualification, while training equips an individual with skills for specific jobs. The Manpower Services Commission UK defines education as activities which aim to develop the knowledge, skills, moral values, and understand required in all aspects of life rather than a knowledge and skill relating to only a limited field of activity. The purpose of education is provide the conditions essential to young people and adults to develop an understanding of traditions and ideas influencing the society in which they live, and to enable them to make the contribution to it. It involves the study of their own cultures and of laws of nature, as well as the acquisition and linguistic and other skills which are basic to learn personal development, creativity, and communication. Following are some of the fundamental differences between education and training. Education is usually associated with children and young youth. Learning objective is broad-based and general. For children in schools, learn social study in which they are taught by the basics of history, geography, and politics. In school, the objective is not to train but to open mind. Let me see. Okay. The focus of education is to transfer fundamental and basic knowledge. With the coming of model and formal school system, education has come to mean a normal activity for certain age group. Primary method of education is classroom coaching is with very limited practical sessions, but with introduction of vocational courses, the method of education is getting to be more practice oriented. The content and the syllabus are usually decided by the government bodies, and the whole education system is regulated by the government. The contents are designed to suit the needs of society in general, and the aim of education is to create a responsible citizen. Education takes place usually in formal established like school and universities. So okay, I think we can stop here today, and I will do this until I finish this book. Thanks for listening.